was beautiful, Baba.
Well, thank you, Axel. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
What is that instrument?
Oh, the instrument is called a kora.
A kora.
It's an ancient harp out of West Africa. And let me just show you a few things so that you'll know what you're looking at.
Okay.
This big piece back here is a gourd.
A gourd?
Covered with cow skin.
Oh.
And the rest of it is made of wood.
Wow.
Yeah, and the strings are just fishing line.
Wow, well, those fishing lines sound so pretty.
Thank you. It's the ancient harp of the griots of West Africa.
The griots?
Yeah, griots are traditional storytellers. Well, in English, we call them storytellers, but what they actually are oral historians. They are the living, breathing memory of their people.
Oh, so we learn a lot from the griots.
We learn a lot from griots. Griots are the teachers of their people, but the way that they teach is through music, through song, through stories, through dance.
Are you a griot, Baba?
Well, I like to think so, Axel. Is there something that you'd like to learn about?
Well, Baba, I really want to learn more about Kwanzaa. There's so much I have to learn because there's so much that I don't know.
Well, I have been celebrating Kwanzaa since I was a child, Axel. So if you'll allow me, I'll teach you a little bit about it.
Oh, yes, please.
Well, let's move over here to the display.
Oh, good. There's so much I want to know. Like where did it come from? And, who celebrates it? And who created it? And I just want to know all there is to know about Kwanzaa.
Well, let me start. Since you asked about who created it, let me start there because that would be the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, Kwanzaa is a harvest festival. So harvest festivals have been around since we first learned to plant seeds and grow our own food as human beings. But the festival of Kwanzaa that we celebrate these days, the African American heritage that we celebrate for Black people throughout the United States, was started in 1966. Yeah, and it was started by a young man named Maulana Karenga, who at the time, he was only in his mid-20s when he got the idea for this Kwanzaa celebration.
His mid-20s and he made Kwanzaa?
Yeah, he was only in his mid-20s. And here's something very interesting. Not only was he only in his mid-20s in 1966, but he's a local person. He's a local scholar.
Wait. Local to where?
Well, Kwanzaa was created in Los Angeles in 1966, but Maulana Karenga is actually a chair of Africana Studies at Cal State Long Beach.
Wait, did you say Long Beach?
Yes.
But that's where we are right now.
That's where the Aquarium of the Pacific is, and that's where we are right now. Yes.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, so I always encourage young people when I'm talking to them that their ideas can lead to something beautiful. His idea in 1966 as a young man led to this being celebrated all throughout the world. Yeah. So let me share a few of the items with you on our Kwanzaa setup.
Yeah, there's a lot on that table.
There are a lot. But before I get to those items, let me explain something that is the most important thing.
What's the most important thing?
It's called the ingathering.
Oh, the ingathering. What's an ingathering?
An ingathering is when we all come back together after having been separated for the whole year. So the ingathering is when our family members come back home, when our friends gather together, when we all come together to celebrate Kwanzaa, we call that coming together an ingathering, and that is the most important part of Kwanzaa.
Oh, wait. Well, Baba, we're getting together and celebrating Kwanzaa. Are we having an ingathering?
Exactly. Axel, we are an ingathering anytime we come together. Yes. So don't forget, the ingathering is the most important piece. Okay? And the next piece that I want you to remember before I explain some of the things that are on our setting here.
What's that?
Well, I want you to remember the number 7.
Okay, the number 7.
Mm-hmm.
But why?
Well, let me explain why.
Okay.
Kwanzaa is celebrated from December 26th to January the 1st.
Wait, December 26th. That's a day after Christmas, right?
It's a day after Christmas, and it goes all the way until the new year, January the 1st. Now, how many days do you think that is, Axel?
Okay, well, January 26th to... Wait, no, December 26th.
There you go.
Oh, I don't know, Baba. How many days is it?
It's 7, Axel. 7 days of celebration.
So that's why you said to remember 7.
That's why I said to remember 7. And before I get to the days and what they're named, let me show you a few things here. The foundation, we call this mat. We have a word for it that we use. It's in Kiswahili. You want to try to say it after me?
Sure.
Okay. The mat we call mkeka.
Mkeka.
Oh, that was very good,
Oh,
Axel.
thank you.
That was really good.
Oh, thank you.
Mkeka is the foundation that holds all of our, symbols for Kwanzaa. It's the foundation. It's like every home has a foundation,
Yeah?
right? So we can consider all the symbols of Kwanzaa our home and our principles. And, well, let me start with this. Before we do anything, there's a cup. You don't have to say this, but in Kiswahili, we call the cup kikombe cha umoja.
Oh, and that's the cup?
Yeah, this is the cup that we use to pour libations.
What? A what?
A libation is when we honor those who are no longer here with us.
Oh, you mean like our
Our
ancestors?
ancestors. I knew you would be aware of that. Yeah. So usually what we do is I use water, but people can be very creative in the way that they set up their Kwanzaa settings. But I use water in my kikombe cha umoja. And what I do is I pour into a plant during the libation. So I'll speak out about our ancestors and about those of us who are fortunate and how we've prospered from the suffering of those in the past. And each time, Axel, I'll pour a little water into the plant. So let me just give you an example, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I will talk about our heritage, our culture, how far we have come as a people, and then I will pour a little water into the plant, and I will encourage everyone to say the name of an ancestor. So I will say Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and a whole bunch of other people will say other names. And after each time we pour, we say Ashe. So let me pour. Yeah, let me pour again. And when I say the name of an ancestor, you can say Ashe.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to pour again, and then I'll say the name of another ancestor, Ida B. Wells.
Ashe.
There you go. That's the way to do it. And
what does it mean to say Ashe?
Well, Ashe, it means, and so it is.
Oh.
It's a way of bringing into being the best that we have to offer, because that is the way it is. Yeah. Now, I want to move to some of the symbols and just get you to understand why we have them and what they're called. The language we use in Kwanzaa is Kiswahili.
The language used in Kwanzaa is what again?
Kiswahili.
Kiswahili.
Yeah, Swahili are the people. When we say Kiswahili, we're talking about the language.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, everything on this table, this presented, has a name for it. For example, here we have corn. And the name of the corn, and you can say this after me, is Muhindi.
Okay, Muhindi.
That is what we call corn, and it is corn in Kiswahili.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
I know a word in Kiswahili now?
Now you do. You know how to say corn in Kiswahili.
Awesome.
The corn represents something, it's symbolic of children. That's what the corn is symbolic of. So typically, every family would put one piece of corn to represent each child they have.
Oh, well, how many children do you have, Baba?
I have 4. I have 4, Axel. But what you'll notice is that I have 5 pieces of corn.
But you just said that you have as many pieces of corn as you have children.
Yes.
And you have 4 children, so you would have 4 pieces of corn, right?
Yes.
So why do you have 5?
Well, the reason why I have 5, Axel, is because in my family, we believe that all children of the world are our children. That we are all responsible for all the children of the world. So we put an extra piece of corn to represent other children, all the children of the world.
Oh, so you have 4 pieces of corn for your 4 children, and the 5th one is for all the children of the world?
Exactly. That's how my family celebrates it. Now, over here, we have what are called museo.
Museo, what's that?
Those are fruits. That's fruit. That's our basket of fruit over here.
Do you eat the fruit?
Well, of course you can.
Oh, good.
You know, that's a very important point, because every time someone comes to my home and they see our Kwanzaa display, they always avoid the fruit. But during Kwanzaa, it's important that you consume the fruit that is on your display.
Oh, so it's not just decoration, it's something you eat all of it?
You do. You feel free to go and to eat it, because Kwanzaa is a harvest festival. In fact, Kwanzaa means first fruits.
First fruits.
That's a harvest festival, and harvest festivals are celebrated all over the world. In fact, while we're celebrating Kwanzaa from December 26th to January the 1st,
yeah,
in South Africa, the Zulu are celebrating their first harvest festival.
Do they do it on the same days?
The exact same days. And they call their festival from December 26th to January the 1st, they call it Unkosi.
Nkosi?
Umkosi.
Oh, Nkosi.
There you go. That's what they call theirs.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
can I move to some of the other things I
Oh,
want to
yes,
teach you
please.
about?
I want to learn more.
Okay, so we talked about muhindi, which is corn. We
Mhm.
talked about moseo. We talked about kikombe cha umoja. Let me move to the kinara.
What's the Kanara?
The kinara is the candle holder, and the kinara holds all of the candles. Now, there is one candle for each day of Kwanzaa. How many candles do you think we use during Kwanzaa?
Oh, okay. I remember now. You must have 7 candles then, right?
We have 7 candles, and each candle represents a day. So
Oh.
each day of Kwanzaa, when we come together, we have a greeting that we do.
What's that?
Well, the first thing that we say, the first person who greets you will say, for example, and after I say the greeting, you would say the first day of Kwanzaa.
Oh.
So the greeting is abarigani,
Oh. Abarigani.
which means what's the news?
Oh.
Yeah. So on the first day, repeat after me on this one. We'll go over
Okay.
the first day. The first day, we light the black candle, which represents our culture, our heritage, our people. And on that day, we call that black candle umoja.
Umoja.
Yeah. So if I were to greet you with a bargani, you would say that first day back to me. You would say umoja.
Umoja.
Okay, are you ready? You want to try?
Okay, I'm ready.
A bargani, Axel?
Moja.
Go! Good job, Axel. Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm going to go to the next candle, which would be the red candle. That's the next one that we
What
like.
does that stand for?
Well, the red candle, there's so much to learn about Kwanzaa, Axel.
I know.
I'm trying to figure out how to distill this down. The red candle is the next one we light. And the reason why we light the red candle next is because we go from sacrifice and suffering, which is what the red represents. And then the next day we go back over to a green candle, which represents the rewards. And then we go back to red, green, red, green. So you understand how we go
So
from...
sacrifice, then reward, and then sacrifice, and then reward?
Yes. So now here's what I'm going to do. You remember the greeting, a bargani, that we just did? Okay. I'm going to say the second day, December the 27th.
Uh-huh.
And there's a reason why I'm not going to have you say it.
Okay. So if I said on that day, Aborigani.
Kuji Chagulia, Axel.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot to say, isn't it?
That is a lot to say.
So let me go through the principles of Kwanzaa, and I'm just going to name them, and then I'll move to something else for you, okay?
Okay, let's hear it.
So first day, the black candle, umoja, which means unity.
Right.
Second day, we light the red candle. It's kujichagulia, which means self-determination. Come back to the green. So umoja, kujichagulia. Ujima, which means collective work and responsibility. Back to the red, ujama, which means cooperative economics. Nia, which means purpose. Kuumba, creativity. Imani, the very last day, January the 1st, faith.
Faith.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those are all the 7 days of Kwanzaa, and it looks beautiful when we get them all lit.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. And something else.
What?
A lot of people like to compare Kwanzaa to holidays such as Christmas or Hanukkah. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, it would make sense because that kind of looks like a menorah.
It looks a lot like a menorah, yes, but Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday. No, Kwanzaa is a cultural holiday. And the reason why it was kept as a cultural holiday is because we can all come together to celebrate our culture together. It's not religious because when we come together, we can recognize our culture, but whether you're a religious background, no matter what it is, you can come to Kwanzaa. That's why we bring it as a secular holiday, is what we call it.
Well, Baba, does that mean that I could celebrate Kwanzaa?
Of course you can, Axel. But the thing that I always tell people when they ask me that question, Axel, is anytime you venture into another person's culture, you always want to make sure that you approach it respectfully and learn as much as you can, like what you're doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is something people get really excited about, but gift giving is not really a part of Kwanzaa. It can be, but it's not the most important part. But we call the gifts, we have a word for that. And for some reason, the children can always remember this Kiswahili word, even if they have a problem with others. We call the gifts zawadi.
Zawabi?
Zawadi.
Zawadi.
Oh, that was good.
And zawadi means gifts?
It means gifts. But during Kwanzaa, what we always do is anytime we give a gift to a child
Yeah?
during Kwanzaa, we always attach a book to it.
Oh, so part of the gift would be the gift of learning?
The gift of learning, exactly. And let me just share a really interesting story with you about Kwanzaa.
Oh, what's that?
Now, in Kiswahili, Kwanzaa is spelled with one A on the end, Kwanzaa, which is only 6 letters.
Hey, wait, but Baba, but that has an extra A.
Yeah, it does. And that leads me to the interesting story, Axel. In the early Kwanzaa, during the Karamu, which is the gathering and the festival, during one of the earliest ones, they had 7 children gathered. And each child had an opportunity to stand up in front of their elders to say, K means this, W means that, right? A means, you've seen children do that before, right?
Oh, yeah.
But there were 7 children.
Oh, no.
And there were only 6 letters.
So what did they do?
Well, it was a statement to say that our children come first and people come first, and we can ignore the rules and put people first. So they added an extra A to the word Kwanzaa.
They added an extra A just for that one extra child?
Just for the one child. Do you see how precious that is?
That is precious.
It is. So now I'll tell you what, Axel, here's what I want to do.
What?
I want to close out our Kwanzaa little learning here, and I want to do it in a very traditional way.
How's that, Baba?
Okay. During Kwanzaa, whenever we close out our in-gathering, we love to say the word Harambe.
Harambe.
Yes, but we have a particular way of saying it.
How do you say it?
Well, we say it, well, I'm going to ask you, how many times do you think we say it?
Okay, so there's 7 days
Mm-hmm.
and 7 candles,
Mm-hmm.
and you told me to remember 7 because it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be 7 times?
Wonderful, Axel. We say it
Yes.
7 times. Yes, and here's what I'm going to do.
What?
I'm going to say, with you, of course, the word Harambe, how we close out. Now, it basically means we pull together, pulling together.
Oh.
Because in Africa, in many cultures, the fishermen would go out and they would all work together to pull their nets in. So they would go Harambe, Harambe, and it would be a lot of them pulling the nets in. So this is how we're going to close out. But on the very last bay,
Yeah?
I want you to hold on to it as long as you can.
As long as I
As
can?
long as you can. So let's say it together. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay,
This
go
is
ahead and
gonna
get
be
your breath. Go ahead and get your
Okay.
breath together, Axel.
All right, I'm ready, Baba.
Okay, so we're going to say this 7 times.
Okay.
Harambe,
Harambe! Harambe!
Harambe,
Harambe!
Harambe. Last one.
Harambe! Oh, that was fun, Baba.
Oh,
And you do that at the end of your
we
in-gathering?
do that at the end of our
Well,
in-gathering.
that's a fun way to end.
Well, it's a beautiful way of departing from one another and creating a memory together.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Axel.
What?
In my family, one of the things that we do when we close out also is we play music and we sing together. Can I teach you a song?
Oh, yes, please. You know, the first song that you played was so pretty. I'd love to learn one.
Well, let me go back to the kora.
Okay. Well, what is the kora made out of again?
Well, Axel, once again, the kora is a gourd,
A
cowskin,
gourd.
wood, and fishing line.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Well, it's so pretty. What's that hole that's on the side?
Oh, the hole, Axel. Wonderful observation. You are so perceptive. The hole is a sound hole like you would have in a guitar.
Oh, or in like a violin.
Or a violin. And there's a saying that the history of the people can be found coming from the music and the sound from the hole in the kora.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to play, but before I do, can I teach you a little bit of an African language I speak?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is not Kiswahili.
Oh, it's not Kiswahili.
No, there are literally over 1,200 languages on the continent of Africa.
Well, then what language is it, Baba?
This language is called Bambara, and it is the language
Oh.
of the griots, of the oral historians.
Oh, really? The teachers?
Yes. So repeat after me.
Okay.
Ye jalia
Ye jalia,
alaleka
alaleka,
jalia da.
jaliada.
Now I'm going to sing, and I want you to sing after me. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Ye jalia
Ye jalia,
alaleka jalia da.
alaleka jaliada.
That is wonderful, Axel. Now,
Thank you, Baba.
I'll play the kora,
Okay,
and I'm going to sing a whole bunch of other words, okay?
okay.
But when I get to that ye jalia part, I want to hear you singing with me.
Oh, yeah, I'll sing after you.
Ya te jalia nye ya kale di bi jalia te korobom ka jali ka ninge jali ke ba di orala ye yo kala ambia sinana kumbemba jali muzanin jale kel ambia sinana. Get ready, Axel, your part is coming up. Get ready. Bula bula tulula ibula bula kora jaluma ambia sinana ukumbemba jali muzanin jale kel ambia sinana. Okay, after me, Axel. Here we go.
Okay.
Ye jalia
Ye jalia,
alaleka jalia da.
alaleka jaliada.
One more time, Axel. We go.
Okay.
Ye jalia
Ye jalia,
alaleka jalia da.
alaleka jaliada.
Ambia sinana kumbemba jali muzanin jale kel ambia sinana. Now we're going to sing a little lower to take it out, okay, Axel? Lower your voice. Ye jalia
Ye jalia,
alaleka jalia da.
alaleka jaliada.
Now, powerful whisper. Ye jalia
Ye jalia,
alaleka jalia da.
alaleka jaliada. Oh, well, thank you so much, Baba.
You're wonderful,
I
Axel.
sure learned a lot from you.
You're welcome, Axel. And that was wonderful. I had a wonderful time teaching. I'm going to leave you with a few words back in Kiswahili.
Okay.
In Kwanzaa, sometimes we say, Kwanzaa yenu ya na heri.
What does that mean?
It means happy Kwanzaa in Kiswahili.
Well, happy Kwanzaa to you too, Baba.
It's been wonderful. Bye, Axel.
Bye-bye.